Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Angela Brown with the Sexy Thyroid Solution, where I help women lose weight and get their sexy back by addressing their thyroid. So today I want to talk about signs of a slow thyroid. But first, what I would love for you to do is go to subscribe to my channel, where you're going to hit the little bell as well, and you'll get notifications on every Thursday when I release my new video. That will be awesome. So let's dive in and let's talk about signs of a slow thyroid. So there's so much information out there about what you should be looking for when it comes to a slow thyroid. So I wanted to kind of combine a bunch of information into this video to kind of give you some ideas and things that maybe you thought were something else, and maybe it could be something to do with your thyroid. So here's one thing to also keep in mind. There's a lot of things that can look like a slow thyroid that can also be some other symptom in your system in your body, like your adrenals, things like that. There's a lot of interconnection between the thyroid and the adrenals, by the way. So a lot of times when you have one thing going on with the thyroid, it could also be affecting the adrenals as well. So that is something to keep in mind. But I just wanted to throw that out there, that there is some overlying things and some things, systems and things like that, that will overlay that affects everything. So the first thing that women always come to me and instantly I always think, okay, what's their metabolism doing, is when they have unexplainable weight gain. This is a really big red flag for a slow thyroid, because your thyroid is your master gland. It is your master gland for your metabolism. So if you have unexplained weight gain, I'm always going to think, what is your thyroid doing? What is your metabolism doing? Now, if someone says, I eat really crappy, I don't work out, I don't have a job where I'm moving around a lot, I'm pretty sedentary, then I also have to factor those types of things in. But a lot of times there still is this unexplained weight gain, or they also are doing the things that they think are correct, where they're eating what they think is healthy, they're working out, and they're actually either gaining weight or they're maintaining, and they just can't budge their weight. That also could be a sluggish thyroid and a metabolism thing. The other thing is extreme fatigue. So it's one thing, and I've done posts about this before, it's one thing to have fatigue and just be tired. That is not out of the ordinary for anybody this day and age. You can be tired from a long day at work. You can be tired from your kids stressing you out. There could be a lot of things that can make you tired. I'm talking about this extreme fatigue. Thyroid fatigue is a completely different scenario than just you're just wore out from a long week of work, or you didn't sleep well the night before. Thyroid fatigue is a whole nother level. It is completely different. It is this extreme fatigue where you feel like you could drink all the coffee in the world, you can do all the right things, and you're never going to have your energy back. You can barely keep your eyes open in the afternoon, and then you get to the evening to bedtime and you're like wired but tired sort of scenario. That's a big red flag for thyroid dysfunction, where the thyroid has slowed down. You should not be to that level of fatigue. If you are, big red flag for a slow thyroid. Again, you do not have to be diagnosed with hypothyroidism for any of these signs to be present. You could have a totally normal blood panel, and I talk about this incessantly all the time. You can have a slow thyroid, but you do not have to have a diagnosis. And I see this all the time, where your thyroid is slowed down. It has not gone to the point where it has affected the hormone levels on your blood panel, but it doesn't mean that your thyroid still isn't slow. So that's why I'm pretty adamant about everyone addressing their thyroid, because you don't want it to get to that point. Another one is brain fog. Brain fog is a really big red flag for thyroid. Now, you can have some brain fog stuff as well with adrenal dysfunction, but again, the adrenals and thyroid are interconnected. It's usually when one's off, the other one's off as well. If one isn't there, the other one usually ends up getting there. Brain fog is a biggie. I see this very commonly, and I can attest to this. I know when my thyroid was really bad, when I got diagnosed 20 something years ago, brain fog was terrible, and it was to the point that I thought something else was wrong with me. I thought I needed to go get a CAT scan or something on my brain, because I just couldn't get it together. I had just graduated with college. I had my PT license. I was practicing. I was doing great, but then all of a sudden it was like I couldn't get it together some days. My brain was just out there, and it really made me scared and nervous, like there was something else major going on. lo and behold, I did end up finding out that I had hypothyroidism, and the brain fog completely went away when I started addressing my thyroid. But it's really common where you just can't focus. Sometimes you just forget. Forgetfulness is one thing, but when you are constantly forgetting things over and over and over, and then just trying to focus is just an extreme chore. It like takes everything out of you to try to focus on anything that you're doing. That's brain fog, and that's a big, big red flag for thyroid dysfunction or a slow thyroid. So, do any of these symptoms that I'm mentioning so far, do any of these resonate with you? I would love to know if any of them resonate with you. If you've ever had these symptoms and your doctor just kind of brushed them off and told you, oh, you're just getting older or you're just tired and you have kids, let me know. I would love to know if you have these symptoms and what you do for them. And then digestive problems. So digestive problems is something that I don't think gets talked about a lot when it comes to a slow thyroid, but it's something that has to be looked at. So again, your thyroid is your master gland. It is your metabolism gland. It like does everything. It like regulates everything. So when your thyroid is slow, it slows everything down. And one of the things that it slows down is your digestive tract. So if you are having really, really bad constipation, bloating, gas, things like that, typically I don't see diarrhea or anything like that with thyroid issues. It's constipation because your digestive tract like literally slows down. It doesn't want to move. It doesn't want to move the food out. So that's why you get the bloating and the gas as well. Really big red flag for thyroid dysfunction. And it's so common. And almost every woman that comes to me that has a slow thyroid that we see via testing, they end up telling me, I have constipation. It's really, really common. So, when you put that in combination with some of these other symptoms, that's a big red flag again for a slow thyroid. And then emotional distress. So if you're really, really struggling, you cannot handle the anxiety. You cannot handle stress. Things are just so overwhelming, and it doesn't matter what you do, what you take, what sort of things that you're doing to try to address this emotional distress. Nothing really works. Big red flag for thyroid dysfunction. And this is something that I commonly see when I do my hair tissue testing with my clients. I very commonly will see on their hair testing some minerals that are off that are contributing to this, which is the thyroid factors that really contribute to this anxiety feeling, and you just can't handle stress. You have a really hard time just settling down sometimes. You're snappy, things like that. I see it very commonly in hormonal even when it comes to thyroid stuff. So those are some biggies that I see. That's something to really keep in mind. Your thyroid secretes hormones that control your metabolism. So when your thyroid slows down, your metabolism is going to slow down. It can make all these symptoms exacerbated pretty prevalently. Your thyroid can be damaged from a lot of things. It can be a genetic thing, but it can be damaged from stress, toxins, the standard American diet. It's not the best. So it's really easy to damage the thyroid and to basically tell it to slow down. It stops secreting your thyroid hormone, and it affects so many people. I mean, unbelievably, but it's shown that there's like 40% of the US population, just the US I'm talking, have symptoms of slow thyroid function. Not diagnosed with hypothyroidism, but have symptoms of slow thyroid. Almost 40% of the US population. That is a lot. And it's estimated also that around 500 to 800% more likely for women to get thyroid dysfunction. That's insane. 500 to 800% more likely for women to get thyroid dysfunction, slow thyroid. That's not right. That's like way too high of a number if you ask me. So these are some of the things that I was talking about that they're signs. So you need to get them addressed. Don't ignore them. The longer you ignore them, the worse it's going to be. You really, really have to make sure that you start addressing it before it gets too far. So my biggies are unexplained weight gain, extreme fatigue, brain fog, digestive problems, and emotional distress. Those are some biggies. Those are my 5 biggies that I see are a big connection to a slow thyroid. So give me a shout out. Let me know, what are your biggies? What are some of your symptoms? Do you have some of these symptoms? Let me know if you do have some of these symptoms. I would love to know what you do for these symptoms as well. But let me know. And then again, hit the little bell. You're going to subscribe to my channel, hit the little bell so that you get notification, and you can also grab my free guide. I still have my free guide going as well down below with the link. So hope this video helped you. Leave a comment. Let me know what you thought of it and what resonated with you. Hope you guys have a great day. Bye.